Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here and it's Trashcraft Tuesday time. Yay! So it is also August. Yes, August the 1st, and I need a journal for August. So I have grabbed out a frozen pizza box and discovered that the pizza box is not big enough for my typical size journal. Which was a bit of a shock. To be honest, I was sure it was going to be the right size, and it's not. Normally I like my journals to be 6.5, so folded in half, 6.25 inches by about 8.75 inches. So there was plenty of room for the height, but I did chop it down a little bit because the dimensions just weren't pleasing to the eye to have it at the normal height. So I took, I don't know, 1/4 inch off, not much. And the width I've had to go, it's going to end up about 5.5 inches wide. And I thought, well, why not? It's just my personal journal. It doesn't really matter if it's a different size to what I would normally do. I am just going to put a bit of tape over this grease spot because I don't want any, if there's any residual grease that might move, I don't want it popping through my collage papers. And this side has got a more plasticized coating, so that's going to be fine on that side. But just on the inside, I didn't want any problems popping up there. So this is our trash. It's a frozen pizza box lid. It's a bit smaller than, you know, your fold-up pizza boxes that you would get from a takeaway pizza type place. So slightly smaller. And I've gone through my bag of scraps and pulled out some to play with. Just bits and pieces in a colour that I thought I want to use on my journal for this month of August. I could just pop there, but I don't want to use it all in one place, so let's just trim this down. This is a bit of paper out of a flow book. And I've gone for warm colours because it is winter here in New Zealand. August is officially the last month of winter and quite often our coldest one. But I want it to be warm, happy, colours that make me happy, and it's just quietly my birthday month. So, you know, I want it to be the sorts of colours that I want and like. And it doesn't have to tie in with the season, to be honest, you know. It's nice to tie it in every now and then, but I'm not worried if it's full of sunny, happy colours and it's winter. To me, that just makes winter more bearable. So I'm just going to grab bits and pop them down. I'm going to try and not think too much about it because I don't want to spend a long time doing this. And it is 10 minutes to lunchtime when I'm starting this video, so I'm starting it very late in the day. And I don't want to be eating at 2 o'clock or even 1 o'clock. I want to be having lunch before then, so I'm on a mission, people. I am on a mission to get this done. I'm not going to do the signature inside. I'm going to have to cut down my papers. Actually, I'm going to wrap that around. I should have thought about that with the other piece. Not that it matters too much, but I'm going to wrap that around. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm on a mission to get this done so I can not be eating too late in the day for lunch, because I'll get a bit peckish, I will. And I've got my coffee to keep me going in the meantime, so you can still read the box through that, and I don't mind. I don't mind that. Here's a little bit of clean off from stenciling. So I've just put the stencil down and wiped over it with a wet wipe. That's what that is. So a bit of pretty pink pattern there. Don't want too much of the white though. Take off the excess white. And let's just pop that there, because why not? So how is everybody today? I hope your week is going well so far. My week's not going too bad, though we're not very far into it, are we? But I can't complain. It's not going too bad. Well, that wasn't straight, but doesn't matter. Got some dirty marks on it from the glue, doesn't matter. It's got a pencil mark. I don't want the pencil mark, and it may not show. It might be overlapped by something. Anyway, oops, wrong drawer. I'm just going to take a second to rub it out in case it does end up showing, because that's just a bit random, and I'm sure it would bug me after the fact if it is visible. Where do I want it? Maybe up the side there. Yep. Time to swap out my page, and I still haven't trimmed down the side of that book. Need to do that. Maybe after I've done this video I'll take a minute to do that, or a couple of minutes before I have lunch. Maybe. We'll see how I'm going. Probably forget and just be eager to go and get some lunch. That sounds quite like me. It is going to end up being covered over. Never mind. So are you going to collage along with me, or make your August journal if you need a journal for August? Or are you vacuuming the floor? It's a bit hard to hear though over a vacuum, isn't it? Unless you're wearing headphones. What are you up to while you watch? Just didn't get much glue on that bit. And I'm going to cover this all in packing tape, so it's, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if it's not glued down properly. It will be fine. Let's just use a bit more of this, because this truly is just a scrap, a bit of note paper that I used for writing notes on, and then used to catch the clean off stencil. So very much just a piece of trash. Let's put that down the middle there. Still working on this glue stick. I have grabbed another one down in case this one runs out. The one I've been using over on the couch is down to the plastic, so I need to grab another one for the couch as well. The couch must be eating my glue stick while I'm not watching. I'm sure I haven't used that much. It's actually really pretty, isn't it? I like that. Very effective. Right, a bit of painty paper. This is just a digital copy of the painty paper. I don't want a lot of this dark stuff. I just want to take a bit of this lighter stuff with the pink and purple at the top and a bit of red. So that bit I don't want to use on this. But that will look nice there. I'm excited for the month of August. I'm excited that it means spring is just around the corner. I'm excited because I'll be that much further down the process of recovery from my surgery, and perhaps a bit more mobile and doing a few more normal life bits and pieces. Also my birthday, like how can you not be excited for your birthday? I know what hubby's getting me because I'm ordering it. He gave me the budget and said go ahead, so I want it to arrive in time for my birthday. So I'll be ordering my birthday present this week. I'm not going to share with you yet just what it is. I will hopefully do an unboxing of it, maybe on my birthday even. We shall see. It depends when it arrives. There's no guarantee it will arrive in time for my birthday. If it arrives late, that's fine. I'll just do an unboxing when it does get here. So, but that's exciting too, because I've been dreaming and thinking and looking and planning, I guess, for a good few months once I decided what I wanted for my birthday this year. Right, let's go for this. I've had this hanging around for quite a while, so it's time it found a home. It's just a bit of a digital printable. I can reprint it. Where do I want it? It's the don't want to lose all of that, although I won't because I've still got this bit. So maybe we just go like that. Okay, let's do it. I'm just going to put the whole thing down and wrap it around. Right, these two glue pages that I've ripped off, I'm going to stick together, lay side by side, like so. Get that corner that's wanting to curl up. So how am I going so far? Am I cracking into it? Does it feel like I'm working fast, or does it feel like I'm moving at a snail's pace? From your perspective, I feel like I'm not doing too bad. Right. Got these little pieces that were given to me, I don't know how long ago. They're all just the same size little squares. And there's a pencil mark on it. That's, or maybe it's pen. It's not rubbing out. Okay, must be pen. Let's just make it a bit more random. Shape. It's more cardstocky. It's quite heavy. Scrapbooking paper is what I'd assume it's from. Just don't like that bit of pen mark there, so let's get rid of it. It offends my eye, so I don't have to live with it, do I? Pop that there, I think. Right, got some purple, choice of purple. It's double-sided, one's more crimson-y than the other, so let's maybe use a bit of both sides. And this has had a die cut, being die cut. Just don't like that squarish bit at the top there. So I'm going to leave that in, and if a bit shows, fine. If it doesn't, also fine. Not worried either way. I'm going to angle that because I don't want it straight up and down and it lines up with this bit, so I'm going to angle it and just make it a bit more fun and take off the straight edge. It's quite a shiny paper. But since I'm putting packing tape over the top, it doesn't really matter because the whole thing's going to be shiny. like that. Just adds a bit of interest, doesn't it? Okay, let's put a bit of this other purple, and I think I'm going to fill that gap there and wrap it around. Sounds like a good plan. Oops, and I put the glue on the wrong side. Oh well, it's on the wrong side now, so let's just go with it. I've still got a scrap of it, so the unintentional mishaps of crafting. And I've got the white edge on the side, which doesn't bother me, but I wouldn't have if I'd glued it on the side I meant to. Right, so we've still got this dark purple, so let's get rid of, oops, that straight edge. Doesn't want to tear very nicely. And this straight edge, that definitely is the direction it prefers. And maybe we put this, trying to see where the paper ends and where the, so that will leave me, how far over can I go? Oh, I can actually cover that whole gap. Just have to be careful where I lay it down. So this time, glue on the side I want to put down. Here we go. Achieved. Right, those are a bit gluey now, so we'll get rid of those. So we've just got this area on the back to go. I've got some handmade paper here that was, when I took it out of the mould, it all tore and developed holes and things, so it was a scrappy bit. It's got some hair attached. Let's get rid of that and use some of this. It's ages since I made this paper. Oh, which side do we prefer? Do we like that side or that side? It's got a little bit of green and yellow in that side, so let's use that side. Oops, it's going to be hard on my glue stick with all that texture of the paper. Dried between tea towels, so the tea towels leave it quite a texture on the paper. So mostly pinks and purples it seems. There's a few other bits and pieces in there. Here's another scrap of a digital that printed badly. So let's just pop that there. Get it out of my scrap bag. And I think this is the last piece of this page that didn't print very well, so that's a happy thing to use it all up. Right, two little gaps there. Here's, oh actually, here's a bit of stamping off paper. It's from the foam stamps I made when Roxy Creations, Rachel from Roxy Creations, did her weekly challenge on making foam stamps. It was a lot of fun. I need to make more actually. Need to make more. I'm sure I can come up with some more designs to play with. Okay, now I do have this big expanse down here, but I really like the crown, so that's okay. I didn't wrap that round, of course, because I wasn't thinking about it, so maybe we just pop that bit of paper up there. Already time for another glue page, going through them when you're collaging. And I'm going to collage the inside as well. I could just cover the whole thing in a bit of scrapbook paper, but this is Trash Craft Tuesday, so I just want to use up bits and pieces rather than go into a brand new sheet of scrapbook paper. Let's just pop that there, and that takes care of that corner. Right, a bit of digital left over from something, so let's pop a couple of bits in here and there. One there, and maybe one in the back, and it's completely upside down, I think. Which way is the front? Yep, upside down, doesn't matter, just something cool. And maybe we'll put that one across about where the spine's going to, the fold for the spine's going to be. Have you settled down, have you, Puss? You've got over your little zoomies. He was in such a zoomy mood when I started this video. He was being a total loon, which is really sweet. It's very enjoyable. So I actually stopped right before I was about to turn the camera on. I got up and went and took a little video of him being a loon, because it's just too adorable. Pop that there. What have I got written here? Looks like a list of things maybe I wanted. Must be from a while ago, because I've got a couple of those things on that list. Or maybe it was a list of things to take away somewhere with me. I don't know. I can't remember. Now it's going to be forever hidden on the cover of my journal for August 2023. I don't like that that's like the yellow on the front here, and then I've got the yellow down the bottom. It doesn't actually matter in the slightest, but I just don't like it, so I'm not going to put it down there. Just one of those things with crafting, you kind of just like it or you don't, often for no real reason. In that particular case, I had a reason. Was it an important reason? No, it wasn't, but it was a reason. This is part of an envelope that someone sent me in Happy Mail years and years ago, and I hoarded it for the longest time. It was a handmade envelope, and I've slowly been using little bits, and I do believe that this is the last, very last piece of it. There might be still a little fragment hidden somewhere, but as far as I'm aware, it's the last bit. And I've just loved it so much. So let's pop it in my August journal. Sounds very fitting place to put something that I've hoarded for so very long. There we go, and I don't want 100 pairs of socks to be one on my journal, so we don't want to use the text part, but we can scoot around that. And I don't want the straight top. And oh, doesn't that fit nicely there? Let's do that. Cool. So it's now 12 minutes past 12. So not going too badly, I feel, for having lunch at not too late in the day. Here's another bit of that birdie one. So let's put that in here. I still have one piece of this birdie one left, a bigger piece, which I've left in my scrap bag, because it would be big enough to I don't know, make a journal card or something out of, or a couple even. I just pulled out the scrappier piece of the two. Okay, and let's use up all this. Probably not that little bit at the bottom, but let's get rid of this so we can eliminate it from the scrap bag. Get rid of this straight edge and leave the one at the top. I'm not worried about the one at the top because it's going to go at the top of the... Is that going to be where the spine is? No, I think it'll be okay. I think it will have enough on either side to keep it in place. And then it will have the tape over top anyway, so should be all good. So what stories have I got to tell you? Did I update you on my computer situation? I don't know that I did. My new computer, the issues that I was having, it turned out that there are 2 extra RAM that were put in. So an extra 8 gig of RAM, I think, from memory. Yes, an extra 8. So there were 2 4 gig RAMs that were added in. Turned out to be causing the issue. So they were removed. And it's all happy as Larry again. I have not actually plugged it in and used it since it's come back home though, because it still needs some stuff set up inside it, you know, software and stuff. And I've got a lot of things that need to get out for today. So I didn't want to set it up and then risk it having other issues through, you know, things that I need to set up that aren't set up and taking that time up. So I'm just using my old computer at the moment until I'm through this busy period, and then we'll plug it in, and then I, you know, have the luxury of sorting it out without that pressure of needing to get things up and posted for Patreon and for you guys and for the newsletter, all that sort of stuff. So it's just sitting on the floor in my office at the moment, but once we're through this period and I've got everything done I need to, then I'll get hubby to plug it in. And we can, or I can, set it up, and it's going to be so good because even when it was playing up, it was still like so fast. It was like, strap yourself in, boys, because it's going to leave you in the dust. It's really that quick compared to the computer I'm using at the moment, my old one. It's so speedy, even though it wasn't running properly. So when it shut down, all of a sudden, it shut down like in seconds. And when it rebooted in seconds, not the few minutes that that I'm used to. So yes, it's going to be exciting once I've got the time to set it up properly, because, you know, things like all the fonts that I use, they're not on that computer, so I need to either download them again or copy them across from my old computer, because I have networked the two together. Well, I did have before we sent the computer away to be fixed. So I can probably, I haven't tried it, probably copy them across from the old computer, I'm hoping, because that would be the simplest way. And I've got to sort out Photoshop, because the version on my new computer is different to the version on my old computer, which I don't get, I don't understand, because it's supposed to be the same version, but it looks completely different, and, you know, it's still usable and functional and everything like that, but it's just things are in different places and it doesn't look the same. So I've got to access things in a different way, and that's not helping my workflow when I'm on it. So I'd prefer for them to be the same, so I'm not switching between two different methods of operating. Yeah, so that's that's a whole lot of information you probably never wanted. And maybe completely meaningless if you're not a computer person or a Photoshop person. You're probably like, what's she even talking about? Yeah, just my life, just where I'm at. This is kind of a bit in different colour, but it has got the pink and yellow in it, so I'm just going to go ahead and add some in. Oops. My fingers are getting so sticky. Just pop that whole bit in there. Oh, that was useless. Let's try that one again. And I'm in a hurry now because it's like I'm starting to get quite peckish. I need to be finishing up so I can get myself some lunch. So what's for lunch today is satay chicken wings with vegetables, I think. I think there's vegetables to have with it, which is basically what we had for tea last night. And hubby is having a sausage casserole type thing that he made on, oh, whatever night it was at the weekend. He made a one pot type sweet and sour sausage thing, and he's having that. There is also leftovers of that I could have for my lunch if I wanted it, but I don't know. I think the sound of the chicken is floating my boat today. Right, we're almost there. So hang in for just a few more minutes. Put that little scrap down there of the handmade paper. I'd like to make handmade paper again. I just haven't got the space at the moment to deal with it. And I'd like to try different methods so I don't end up with that quite bumpy texture. So I'd have to find something other than tea towels. Right, let's put a bit of, this is actually a printable, this stripy piece. I bought it for something, I can't even remember what. I think it was a kit of different papers. Probably back when I was making cards actually, as a layer when I was making cards. And so this scrap I've had hanging around for a few years. Yes, it would be a few years. So time to use up as much as I can. Because really, why have it hang around for so long? Let's put it to use. And it fits really nicely with these colours. Okay, and maybe we go with another piece of this to fit this gap. I need a bigger piece there. Get rid of the, oops, that went haywire. Doesn't like ripping in that direction. So it's a bit of a funny shape, and I don't want to cover up too much of the other papers. Oops, and I ended up, oh, we can just do it in a, on an angle, like so. That will do me. Now let's watch me not glue it down in the same spot and end up with gaps. There we go. So we have now covered the whole inside and outside, and it didn't take that long, did it? And my nose waited till now to start dripping. So, and the tissue stuck to my gluey fingers. That's gross. Is this wet wipe still damp? I was using it yesterday. It's a little damp, enough to perhaps clean off my fingers a tiny wee skosh there. Okay, so this is the front, and what I thought is I've got these two bits that are scraps from doing die cuts, and maybe we could use one of those to put like our month and year inside. So maybe something like that. And I'm feeling like I want a label underneath, so something I can write on. Have I got something big enough in here? It's not big enough. Not big enough. Could put something like this. It'd end up being covered up, but that's okay. Is it big enough? No, it is not big enough. Okay. Well, that's not going to work. I haven't got anything, I don't think, that's big enough to fit in that gap. Apart from some of these apothecary labels, but then they'd be sideways and that wouldn't work for me either. Okay. So the next best thing, I think, is a plain bit of something. Now, we didn't actually have any of this on the front cover. Let's just put a bit of that behind. I think that'll be fine. And then I can put something over top so it's readable. You know, write in black or something. There we go. So let's pop that on first. And how long have we been going for? I was just trying to look at the time on the camera, because I can see the time on the TV, on the screensaver on the TV, but it's like, how long have we actually been recording for? I'll go right there, and I've got a big bit of glue smear on there. Let's see if we can get it off with this slightly damp wet wipe. I think most of it's going to actually end up under this little framey bit anyway. Just got a tiniest little bit of that dark purple showing there. I think I do want to round the corners on this though. So that might show a little bit more of the purple. Well, not really. Put that up slightly, and then have this little, just a tiny little bit of that purple showing through. So let's do that. I'm going to use tacky glue for this. That on. Oops, not that high. There. Phew, that was close. That was close. Okay. So I'm going to grab a thick black pen. And right on here, August 2023. Here we go. So I think we've got some time just to finish it off. Let's pop some things out the side. Sorry for reaching under the camera. Let's make a bit of space to work here. So I am going to glitter it, and then I'm going to cover it in packing tape. I'm not typically a huge fan of glitter on my covers, but I thought today I just felt like going for it. So, and I'm using blue. So let's see how much mess I can get into. I'm sure I can get into quite a lot. There we go. I think that's ample. And now let's do the tape. Oh, if I can find the end of the tape. Where is it? I can feel it. Can't see it. Come on. Sorry about the noise, it's quite loud. Oops, that tape is not straight. Never mind. It's fine. Doesn't need to be straight. Seals in all that glitter. I think last time I did the glitter I used a combination that probably made it not my favourite. I'm actually happier with this, and the glitter I used last time was quite chunky, so, and it like sat in clumps, and I didn't like that because it left quite big bubbles under the packing tape. So I thought, well, let's do it again and see what we think. And your own journal is a great place to experiment. Now I'm having problems because I need to move it down and it's all stuck to the mat. So maybe we'll just need to turn it round and leave it where it is. And this bit's just hanging off in midair. That's okay. Of course I couldn't rip it up because all the glitter that's not covered yet would fly everywhere. And I suspect I've just taken some off with my sleeve, so I'm just going to go in and get the very edge here where the tape isn't covering yet. And I'm going to end up with it everywhere because it's going on where I've already got tape. It's okay. My husband will get home saying, "Have you used glitter today?" I'm like, "Yep." You betcha. Oh, my scissors don't like cutting at the tips. And it's really annoying. Right, just put that end of the tape back on. Right, so all the glitter is now, apart from where I put it over top of the tape, is all under the tape. So let's peel this up. And look at that, I've been working all that time with my cutting mat upside down. Had not even noticed. Right, just want to do the corners first, I think. Oh, driving me batty. And the other corner, I guess I need to do as well. Oops. Get to a certain point and the tape just rips because it's cheap tape. It holds well enough, but just when you're cutting it, it can sometimes just tear along the line that you're cutting, which is actually, I have to say, a reasonably handy feature. So I've got some glitter on the inside too, which is quite nice. Oh, and all stuck up. All sorts of wrinkles. It just adds texture. And then sometimes I put tape on the inside and seal the whole thing. Sometimes I don't. So I'm just sort of assessing whether it needs that or not. I'm thinking it's going to be okay. I think where the spine's going to be, it's well enough overlapped between the two sides. And I can always, if I find bits lifting or something, I can go in once it's all constructed and just run some strips of tape in. So I think we're all good for now. So that is my cover for my August journal. So I can, tonight, record my day in it. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to be doing that tonight. Probably be tomorrow. But there we go. There's my cover. And I do actually love that glitter in there. I think also last time I used glitter, I used 3 different colours. And I think I'm enjoying the single colour a lot more. Can you see the glitter? Fun. Okay, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I will see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.